Number two, once we've got number one down, it just becomes the fabric of who we are. Number two is we've got to start realizing how people move forward. Number two is how we set our goals. I heard goals mentioned by 2-3 speakers that came before me. But how we set goals sometimes gets lost in translation. We were over in Norway, my wife and I, and we were taken up to the old ski lift, if you remember where the Olympics took place there. And there's a little restaurant at the top. I wish I could tell you. It's like something like that. But it's a loose translation. But it's a little place you go up the ski lift. And if you get up there, they have this bowl of porridge that you can get, for lack of a better word. They don't call it that. It's like, but you ask for this, and you put cinnamon and butter and all this kind of stuff on it in a really heavy cream. Is that what it is? What is it? There you go. See? Risgrynsgryd. Okay? Fantastic. It's fantastic. And so my wife and I, we can't stop talking about this. We really like this stuff. It's great. Well, the hosts that had brought us over, they thought, well, this would be really good. They like this stuff. We're looking for a little gift they can take back to the States. You can't bring any liquids hardly anymore. You know, this is nice. It's like a powder. You mix it up when you get back home. So they got us some of this stuff, and they gave a little nice little gift box. We were excited till we got back home. And then we flip it over on the back side and realize the instructions are all in Norwegian. The temperatures are in like centigrade or Celsius. I don't know what they are. You know, the only thing we recognize is how long you're supposed to cook it. Not helpful. So we had to call them. They had to translate, right? So those directions worked beautifully for people who could understand. Not so much for us. So everything you've heard about goal setting is fine. All this works. It's just what works and what we teach other people rarely are the same thing. Rarely are the same thing. I mean, for example, there's a phraseology that you'll learn going through this business, I promise you, that I refer to as age-appropriate conversation. Now, we understand that if we're parents. We have any parents in the room? I know. Well, whatever. I forgot where I was for a second. Of course. I was talking to one of the ladies, and she said, yeah, I had to have someone watch the kids. How many kids do you have? We have 5. Wow, 4 boys and a girl. You need another child. I know. I'm telling my husband, need another child. Sorry. But you really do need another girl. I mean, 4 boys and 1 girl, that's just wrong. Keep going until you get another girl. 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, 5 girls and a boy? And a boy? Well, then it wasn't you. Somewhere in here, there's someone with 4 boys and a girl that I talked to. We had a conversation. Anyway, reminds me of my family. Our son-in-law, I told you, married to our daughter. 8 sisters, 1 boy. Because they had a girl, they wanted a boy. They had another one, had a girl, 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 had a... Number 8 is a boy. So they thought, we'll give him a brother. Number 9 was a girl. So he's the only boy. Anyway, I digress. Where was I? Oh, yes. Okay. So here's the thing. So what works is different than what duplicates or what we teach to other people. It's not necessarily the same. Age-appropriate conversation says when your 4 or 5-year-old comes to you and says, where do babies come from? You probably don't get the encyclopedia, start drawing charts and graphs, get a video that would be, no, it's mommy's tummy, or it's the Cabbage Patch, or whatever it is that you tell them at that age. But when they're 16, and they come to you and say, where do babies come from? If you start telling them about the Cabbage Patch, you're going to be a grandparent faster than you want to be. You have to kind of know what's appropriate for them at the beginning. Now, here's the snag within our profession. We are not like looking at kids. When you look at someone who's 4, 5, 6 years of age, you kind of know what grade they're in. Kindergarten, 1st grade. You look at someone who's kind of like, looks like they're middle school, you can kind of figure out, oh, I bet they're about this grade, 6, 7, 8, 9, somewhere in there. You can tell the people in high school. But what if humans, just think about this, just humor me for a second. What if humans were like horses and we were full grown at 2? But we still put them in kindergarten when they were 5. And we worked them through the curriculum. You couldn't tell by looking at them what grade they were in. That's more of an appropriate analogy for the people we bring into our profession. Because you're talking to somebody who maybe is in their mid-40s, and we talk to them like they're in their mid-40s. Truth is, I saw the hands. Put them up again if this is your very first experience in network marketing. See, if your hand is in the air, we can't talk with you like you've been around for 10 or 15 or 20 years. It's not an age-appropriate conversation. But if you've been around in the industry for 10, 15, 20 years, we can have a different discussion, a different dialogue. So kind of where do you settle? And so what I ended up doing, or learning the hard way, was what I knew to be true and what I taught were two different things. I taught what anyone and what everyone could immediately do. That became something that would work, or would duplicate, as opposed to something would work. By contrast, these goal-setting programs, I remember I attended one years and years ago. If you've been to this same program, this is, not a slam against the program. It was fantastic. I got some great ideas. But basically, the teacher said, if you want to live an extraordinary life, the very first thing you've got to do is look 20 years into the future. You've got to get a crystal clear vision of where you're going to be 20 years from today. The home, the house, the kids, the life, the money, what's going on, 20 years. And just paint this incredible picture of the future 20 years out. Now, once you've got this, we had this homework assignment. Once you've got this beautiful picture of the future, he said the rest is easy. You cut that 20-year goal in half, you've got your 10-year goal. You cut the 10-year goal in half, you've got your 5-year goal. You divide the 5-year goal by 1 or by 5, and you've got your 1-year goal. You divide that by 12, you've got your monthly goal. You divide that by 4, you've got your weekly goal. You divide the weekly goals by the 7, you got your daily goal. You divide those by the hour, 8 hours, you've got your daily goal, or your hourly goal. And then he said, live every hour of every day, of every week, of every month, of every year, and over the next 20 years, you'll get exactly what you pictured that you wanted. And everyone, including me, took notes. I'm writing all this stuff down. How many people do you think a week or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 after that course had mapped out their 20 years and worked backwards from there? No. You need proof of how people really react. Take a friend to a restaurant they've never been before for lunch and watch how long it takes them to order food. I mean, it's lunch. How many times have we heard this in our lifetime by the wait person? Do you need another minute? It's 1 meal out of 3 for the day. It's 1 meal out of 21 for the week. You need another minute, it's food. Pick something. A salad, a sandwich, it's not hard. Pick something, be done with it. What do you recommend? Ask that question. If they say, that sounds good, I'll take that. But people, and they got to look over the whole menu as if this is the single most important decision they're going to make in their entire life. And these are the people that we want to look 20 years into the future. They can't do it. It's not possible. So although fundamentally, if we could get them to, it would be effective, we can't get them to. So you start backing down, backing down, backing down, backing down to find out what can you actually get people to do. And then that becomes what we teach. Here's what we found we can get people to do about 90 days out. That's what we found we can get most people to do. Brand new person comes on board today, we can have them look about 90 days into the future. We can get them to see it that far out. And when you start recognizing the brilliance of this 90-day strategy, I'm not the one that came up with it. I'm not the one who basically said, when a woman is expecting that we'll have first trimester, about 90 days, second trimester, about 90 days, third trimester, about 90. I'm not the one who created the seasons. About 3 months of winter, 3 months of spring, 3 months of fall, or summer, then 3 months of fall. I'm not the one who came up with that plan. I'm not the one at the Internal Revenue Service who said, we want your money about every 90 days. I didn't come up with that plan. I'm not the one who designed the curriculums at the university that said the classes are going to be about every 90 days. I didn't come up with any of that stuff. All I did was observe that every place it seemed to matter, they had figured out, someone, God or someone else had figured out, you know what, they can do it in about 90 days. We can make winter cold and hard and nasty, but we can't do that for a year. They won't stay, they won't like it, they'll move. That's why the people from Canada, and I love Canada, but like 90% of the whole country is living as close to the United States as they can possibly get. They're not going further. Too cold, too long. People in Phoenix, they have second homes, but not in Las Vegas. Have you noticed that? Too hot, too long. They want to just break it up a little bit. I've seen mothers, can have morning sickness for 90 days. I mean, I can't imagine as a man. That's, I suppose, why we don't have babies. But 90 days, every morning throwing up, every morning throwing up, every morning throwing up. And then eventually second trimester comes and things kind of even out in the body. And third trimester and you're a little bit better. And all of a sudden you've got to hold that brand new precious child in your arms. And it doesn't seem very much longer before that mother is saying to her husband, I want to do it again. But show me a mother who had morning sickness for the whole first, second, and third trimester for 9 entire months. You show me a mother who went through that, I'll show you the mother of an only child. I mean, it's like, I'm not doing that again. It's too much, too much, too much. So if we ask people to do things that are difficult, we can't have the difficulty last out for 90 days or for more than 90 days. It's just too long. You see what I'm saying? So we've got to think about where are we going. Let's only look out 90 days. Here's the way the plan works. It's very, very simple. I'm suggesting you try this, try it, and when you find this is very effective, it's not perfect, it's effective. And that's what we're going for, because duplication is not what can I do. Duplication is what can I get you to do, to get him to do, to get her to do, and all the way down. So 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 levels down, people all know what this new plan is called, which I am still trying to learn. Your new point system. Oh, you've already given an acronym? Okay. The new people will have no idea what you're talking about. Just call it what it is, Loyalty Rewards Program, right? Otherwise, they're going to think it's a new credit card through doTERRA. You know, get on this one, spend the money, send you to Japan, Hawaii, someplace else. You want to sit down, try this for about 90 days. When you find out how effective this is for you, begin teaching it to your people. And I promise you, it'll take you about 3 cycles of this, about 3 90-day cycles for you to grab the significance of the brilliance, the simplicity of this. Here's all you do. This is the month of March? Yes, still? March? Okay. So if we started with April, you just say all of April, all of May, all of June. That's 90 days out. So July 1st, where do you want to be in these 2 areas of your life? This is all we teach new people. Title and income. That's all we teach new people, title and income. Hey, I know we're just talking here. I know you're brand new within the business, but let's see. If we started really aggressively going at this April, May, June, July 1st, how much money would you like to be earning? Part-time basis, how much would kind of get you excited in your business? Now, you can talk to somebody who's been around a while and ask them the same question. Hey, I know you're earning a little bit right now, but over the next 3 months, what would you like to see your check go to? Somebody who's at the top of their game, same thing. All of April, all of May, all of June, what do you want that July check to start looking like when it starts coming into your bank account? Just title and income, that's all it is. And then what is the title that is corresponding to that income within the compensation plan? What will you need to do? How will the team need to be structured? Where will you need to be to probably have the best chance of getting there? For some who don't want much, maybe they can do it just retailing. Someone says, if I could make $400 or $500 a month, I'd be happy. Maybe they can just retail. But for somebody who wants to make $40,000 or $50,000 a month, that's more difficult to do through just retailing. You see what I'm saying? For that, you'll need a team. So how big does the team need to be, and what's its structure like, et cetera, et cetera. But look at those 90-day goals. And then remember that when you get there, at the end of that 90-day cycle, here's the wording that you want for your notes, so you'll remember this, okay? The plan is looking forward, so the word needs to go down plan. The do is that we're going to go through that 3-month period of time. At the end of that 3 months, the next word is review. We're going to take a look back. How did it work? How is it for family? How is it for my career, my business? How is it within the structure of what's happening around me, my friends, etc.? You've just got to review things from time to time. And then make any adjustments that are necessary. And the last word is repeat. So we could say adjust/repeat. Repeat what? Well, all of July, all of August, all of September. So October 1st, where do you want to be title-wise? Where do you want to be income-wise? Now, if you hit that goal, don't celebrate too much. It's just 90 days. And if you don't hit that goal, don't berate yourself too much either. It's only 90 days. It's a 90-day goal. If it didn't work out for you, did you take off too big a bite? Or did you not put in the effort necessary? Just think about that. Review it, adjust, and then plan out again and start moving forward. And follow the seasons, follow the cycle, follow that 90-day schedule. To this day, after 25 years, I'm still on a 90-day schedule. I still look out 90 days in the future. Where do I want to be? Now, my goals are different today than when I was actively building my business. But I use this 90-day cycle for my family, for my finances, for my fitness, for the fun. We're looking out and we're planning within that 90-day cycle. I mean, it's just an easy strategy to implement throughout the other facets of your life that are important to you. Now, is long-term planning beneficial? Yes. I wouldn't want to be around this company if I found out they were only looking 90 days down the road and didn't have a clue. If you said, where do you guys hope to be in July? July? We're only looking to April right now. That would be scary. So I'm not saying long-term planning doesn't work. What I'm saying is the next new person you bring into the business, if you try to have them figure out their why and make out a 5 or 10-year plan or go down the road, very few of them actually will. And so this is not about what will work, this is about what you can actually teach that will duplicate, that will give you traction, where they're on that path and they're starting to get some success. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay, so we get everybody on the auto order program. We've got to make absolutely certain we've got our 90-day plan solidly in place, and where we start with the 90 days is completely arbitrary. If you come on board in January, it's January, February, March, April 1st. If you come on board in February, it's February, March, April, May 1st. It's just arbitrary. It doesn't matter where you start. You know, don't try to round this up and get it on the cycle of the seasons. I mean, for example, when does winter end? Does anyone know? No, there's an official date on the calendar. I mean, there really is. It says no more winter. It says so right there. March 21st. Yeah, has anyone walked outside the day before and went, wow, cold, the day before, like, wow, nice? No, it's arbitrary. Someone just had to decide. It's the same thing. You just have to decide. You decide. But move forward in 90-day cycles. Track this and watch what happens for yourself. You're going to find that it will work for you extraordinarily well.